Scott. 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 Crap, we're live. Scott. Oh, hey, what's up, Scott Balcom here with Imagination Creation Films, and yeah, we're live. Sorry about that. How's everyone doing today? Is everyone so happy and enjoyable and all those good things? So we got lots to talk about today. We get to talk about the brand new Aputure P600c, their new well, they're not calling it supernova. They should, but they're not. And we can talk about some more of the V-Raptor if anybody would like. We can talk about all those good things. But yeah, how are you doing? Are you doing good? I am doing well. I'm doing well. I like things and stuff, and today is one of those things and stuff days. So yeah, it's hello there, KKOG. How are you? It's a cool day. I am trying to figure out right now. It seems to be working. There's definitely something wrong with the Blackmagic ATEM Mini or Extreme. That posterizing that's happening when I'm moving, and it feels like I'm in like 9 frames a second or something like that. That's happening internally here. It's not happening anywhere else. So I haven't figured that one out yet. But I kind of got the stream quality kind of working. Let me know. Oh, yep, Kevin. Hello, Kevin. Good to see you. Oh, there goes the posterizer. Yeah, I have no idea what that is. It's something in here, because if I do, let's see here. Let me pull up something here. If I do like picture in picture, I'm super smooth, but the background you can see it's posterizing. It's a little weird. I don't know what that is. But we'll just have to endure. I'll just move as little as possible, and that way it will seem like I'm not having a low frame rate. So yeah, Aputure just announced, they didn't drop, they announced their new Nova, the P600c. If you didn't catch that live stream, it just ended like an hour ago. And it's pretty cool. It's a 2 times the size Nova P300C, but it's exceptionally powerful, like really powerful. It packs a punch. We'll go through those. We'll go through those here in just a minute. What else is going on? Everybody doing well, feeling well? I've been going to Goodwill lately. I shouldn't have, because every time I do, I come back with something that I shouldn't have. But I've been doing quite well there lately with just little things to help with some future set and or set design and some projects coming up. I'm really liking that. I'm digging. I'm going retro in some of the stuff, and so I kind of like the way it. They have a lot of, they have a lot of garbage for sure. They also have a lot of good stuff as well. Also, been resurrecting some old computers, having a good time with that. And then I also just acquired one of the Canon XL1s, one that I used to own. I acquired that, so I'm going to be happy when that shows up. you know, fun things in life that just keep you energized and fun. The things that we used to do, you know, it keeps us exciting, keeps us excited. Just making sure, yeah, frames are going okay. All right, so let's talk about this this Nova, and I can answer any questions if anybody has any, because I have all the specs on them. Let me pull up that. So this is I stripped these directly from their live stream as they're talking away. I'm like, and resizing as we go. So you can see, well, you can't really see, so ooh, well, I can just do this. Right, where is it? There we go. Ooh, there we go. So I can just point to, you can see so the Aputure, the P600c it's an RGB WW light, which means it has both warm and cool white LEDs, which allows mixing. That mixing allows for the brightness to get brighter. For instance, when you're doing 3200 versus 5600, well, those LEDs are a little bit brighter. Plus, you can add in, like when you're doing some colors that are washed and not like pure blue, anything like that, you get the benefit of throwing in a couple of whites in there to really kind of punchy it up. Punchy it up. So you can see at 3200, I mean, it's really bright. Compared to the light panels, it's more than twice as bright. Compared to the S60 Sky panel, it's about 1.6 times brighter. Yeah, it's pretty bright. And then at 5600, it's almost double the brightness of the Sky panel. That's saying a lot. This thing is seriously bright. Brandon, I am doing well, Brandon. Thank you. How are you doing? Yeah, it's a beast, and it's fairly small. Looking at the here, this was an interesting comparison. I don't know that it really matters that much when we're talking about like a couple of inches here. I mean, the Gemini and the Nova are almost the exact same size. I mean, practicality, they're the same size. Sky panel is a little bit bigger. The Titan X2 is even bigger, but they're about the same. But the Nova is twice as bright as the Gemini. And then weight-wise, the Gemini is a lot lighter than the Nova. But again, the Nova is twice as bright as the Gemini, so that's a massive win. And then on the Titan, you have to add in the Titan and the Sky panel. You have to add in the power supplies. So those add a bit of weight because the power supplies are built in on the Gemini and the Nova. But it is it's a cool little beast. I don't know that I can publicly show my spec sheet at this point. So I think I can give, I don't know. They didn't tell me. I think I can give any details off of it. I don't think I can share it. In fact, I know I can't share it. Let's see here. It's 2 times brighter than the P300C. Has the same color temperature. Oh yeah, one cool thing that they've done on the 600 is they've divided the panel, which is a 2x1 panel, into 4 zones. So now you can animate and do different things with the zones. I think a really cool idea is, for instance, like if you're filming and you want to show someone and the house is on fire and you cut back to them on a reverse and you're seeing their face, you put a light panel kind of in front of them with 4 zones. It's going to it's going to wrap that light around their face, but animate it differently. And that's all with one light. That's kind of a cool thing. I kind of dig that. Let's see what else. It's fully Sidus Link. It has 8-bit and 16-bit DMX 512. Oh yeah, they've gone to a cableless, the little control box. So it has contactor pins on the back, so you just pop it in there. You don't have to run a cable like on the 300. However, if you want to run it long or have it remote, then you can just use the cable, and that's fine. Has 4 programmable presets, just like the Nova. The diffusion panel is removable, so you can get a little bit higher output on the output, but not a whole lot. Just if you're going to run it through diffusion, or if you're going to run it through double diffusion, then you would take that one off, just to get that little extra burst. But if you're running it through diffusion, I might leave it on just to keep a soft through soft. You can adjust the frequency to reduce flicker depending on where you're at or what shutter speed you're operating on. I mean, it's a high frame rate capable light, but there are times when you can still find it. So it's adjustable between, I think, 20,000 and 22,000 or 22 and 24,000. I don't know which one it is. Cycles. So that's a high frequency LED. Let's see here. It's got 300 gels built in, presets. It's got a couple of new lighting effects built in, but it has 19 now. It has dimming down to 0.1%. You can run it with a neutral power. You can also run it with a 48 volt, 15 amp DC battery input. It's a big boy. Let's see. It has dual locking yokes on either side now. And they have it in 2 options. They have it in they have it with a case and without a case. And I'm trying to remember the pricing. I think it's $32.99. I think it was for the without the case, and $35.99 with the case. I think that's what it was. I apologize. I didn't screenshot that. But what do y'all think of that light? That light is, well, it's going to be, it's going to make a big impact compared to the Nova 300C. The original Nova is a powerful light, but it's hard when people are so against change. The P600C will kind of command change. They will force people to adopt and to wake up. You don't get to just sit around on your laurels with a sky panel S60 when you can get twice as much light output, or close to twice as much light output. That's gonna force some change in the industry. And I support that. RE sky panels are nice, but they're very expensive, and they've had their day. Most likely what you're going to see is all the gaffers who bought sky panels and are trying to rent them out. And that's why you're going to have sky panels still on set. I like to use sky panels. They're trustworthy. I know what to do with them, blah, blah, blah. Hello, Ollie. How are you? It is a wonderful evening. Did anybody happen to catch my intro? I actually worked on that. I was messing around with that. How about the fan noise? I don't know yet. I don't have one, so I can't comment on the fan noise. My guess, let's see, looking at the back. So I'm guessing it's going to be very similar to the P300 because I see two intakes and 2 outputs. Let's see here. I'll just put that up here. You can see there's 2 basic cooling areas. So I'm guessing they've just basically duplicated the unit inside. So there'll be twice as many fans, but that doesn't mean it's twice as loud. That's not how audio works. So we'll have to see. Yeah. Justin says, my thoughts are that for a small production company like mine, this light is too big. It's really made for studio and rent. I don't know that I could agree with you. I mean, your opinion is yours, and you know what fits you. I mean, we're not talking about a very big light. This thing is this is a 2 foot by 1 foot light. Get the exact dimensions here. It's not going to give me the exact dimensions. Why do I need the exact dimensions? It is, I had it right here. It's basically like, I think the total thing is about 27 inches by 13 inches. So it's about this big. It's a big light, but I don't know that it's that big. The big thing here is you'll be able to compete more with the sun. For instance, I had my Nova on a set where I had really bright sunlight coming through the window, and I was trying to counter that. And the P300 was struggling to keep up with direct sun. I mean, that's a lot of light coming through. And this, you're going to get twice that output. All of a sudden, it becomes very usable. Ollie says, so yeah, apparently Aputure have more products to announce too. I'm not going to buy a new car this year, am I? No, you're not. Yeah, they're not done. They're just beginning. Kevin says, has an eye-opening amount of power. Yes, it does. Or an eye-closing amount of power, so to speak. Let's see, what is this? Badoan? I apologize. I can't pronounce it. I also can't see it. I need to hold on. Let me boost my font here. It's so far away. Zoom in. There we go. Let's see. Bodwin? Maybe Bodwin? Hello from the Principality of Monaco. Well, hello. Welcome. Ollie says, I agree with Justin. Can't see myself lugging around the P600 and a combo stand. Not ideal for one-man bands. Yeah, I mean, there are times. For one-man bands, I get it, because you'll definitely be more apt to want to control the environment just by yourself. If you have any kind of a small crew with you, or a grip, or just even a swing or anything, then you can kind of enter this territory where it's going to come in handy. But I mean, in the spirit of Aputure, you ain't seen nothing yet. I know that they wanted to do a big set of announcements at NAB, and well, NAB's canceled. If you hadn't heard, that's not happening. And that one was really feeling all the pinches there, because Ari, Blackmagic, Canon, Sony, they all pulled out. So those are the big people in that main hall. Well, I guess Blackmagic wasn't in the main hall. Well, they were used to be on the side hall, but they probably moved to the big hall. I mean, they don't have a show without those big pillars in there. Plus the cost. I mean, Sony and Canon and all those, they pay a lot for their booths. It's quite a bit. It's French. Badou? I don't know. I've heard my wife speak French periodically, but Baldou? That's probably butchering it. I apologize. Let's see. Sister, brothers, mute when eating, drinking. Okay, I'll do my best. I tend to forget things as I do things. Let's see here. I put two Novas together to get a feel for it after the presentation. For me, it just seemed too big. I guess, yeah. I mean, it's a big boy. Let's see here. I did order two 600X lights, so maybe that's coloring my thoughts. Well, I mean, the 600X is no small light either. That thing is quite heavy. It's got a big ballast with it. So it will certainly compete. However, the Nova is in a hard case, and it is a bigger case. Yeah, I mean, you use what you need. If you don't need RGB, then yeah, I would totally go with a 600X. That makes a lot of sense. Get the cough drop that time. Let's see here. I am sure they will release an Orbiter style light, plus the 600D non-pro and maybe smaller RGB panels. I don't know if anybody is actually interested in the Orbiter. If you talk to people today, the answer that you get is it's about 4 years too late. There's not enough output. There's not enough flexibility. It weighs way too much, and it costs way too much, and you couldn't get them. I mean, even today, they're really hard to get, and honestly, no one wants them now. And that thing was like, what, $9,000 for an Orbiter? So I don't know that there's a calling for it. It was a neat idea at the time, and then it kind of died out. Anyone here use Juicebox to keep their no Juicebox, but we also don't do free advertising. Well, we kind of do, but I mean, at least ask permission before you advertise. That's just kind of not cool. Justin says Aputure needs to replace their 1X small panels and make them RGB and add tube lights, in my opinion. You never know. You never know. I don't know, but you never know. When to use a light panel versus a chip on board light. Well, they're all chip on board, really, if you boil it down to it. The RGB light, if you need color, number one, but it's a soft light to begin with. So the light source on the 600 is this big. The Nova is this big. The light source on a chip on board is like that. So it's a hard light, or it's a very, very close to a hard light. It's not quite as hard as a tungsten, but it's pretty close. So when you need to focus light, when you need to just kind of punch in light, when you need to control light, that's what I would do chip on board. When you want soft, or you're doing some effects, that's when you're looking more towards the Novas or Sky panels and that kind of thing. Let's see here. The Orbiter is underpowered already. Yeah, it is. It's I think it's like a 400 watt light. It's not. It's not very. I mean, and you got to figure the price. How often do you really need to project a blue beam? I mean, it's not that often. It might be good for some effects, but quite honestly, most people are going to go out and grab an ellipsoidal. You can rent those things for $10, throw a gel on it, and boom, they've got a beam. Almost got two 600Ds, but settled on one, and I'm waiting for the 1500D. I don't know anything about a 1500D. Ellie? Sorry, didn't mute. Forgot it. Yeah, I'm so used to drinking, sorry. Let's see here. But at least I caught it, so maybe I'll learn. I can learn. I can be trained. Yeah, I think a good one man, well, I mean, it's kind of a lot for one man. If you're going to go into office buildings, I would probably want like a 600D, a 600X, and a Nova, either 300 or 600. The reason I say that is with the Nova, you're going to be able to pull and adapt to colors inside that you may not necessarily be able to adapt with just the 600X and the 600D. However, with the 600D and the 600X, you're probably going to be mostly covered, and that'll give you some abilities to throw a little splash of color on the wall, get a nice edge light for them. You could then reverse them. You could double them up and throw them through a big 8x silk. I mean, anything to get a nice soft image and some separation and some texture. I think that would work really well. Yeah, the one thing the Orbiter has are very high CRI, 98 and 95. Power's 500, it's 7600 on B&H. Yeah, so CRI and TLCI, which TLCI is a much better version of it, it's pretty negligible to go from like 94 to 95. The interesting thing there is TLCI being a more accurate measure. You notice that the TLCI is pretty close to Aputure's, isn't it? Let's see what Aputure is. I mean, these don't directly compete. Yeah, TLCI is 95 on the Aputure P600. So anytime you get somewhere like the CRI of like 93 and above, it's good. It's good enough. I mean, yeah, we all want it to be perfect tungsten, but actually a few people can see the difference between like 98 and 97 or 96. But, you know, it's subjective. Hello from Paris. Well, hello. Hello from Texas. You know, everybody knows Texas. Let's see. I mean, I don't know what I would use an orbiter for. I mean, do any of y'all have any ideas of what you would use an orbiter for? I mean, because I can gel a 600D with a projection lens on it, and I've got the light output of an orbiter in any color that I want. Yeah, I don't know. I muted that time. Let's see here. I agree. RGB is huge for walking into random environments paired with a color meter. Yep. I just see hernia surgery in my future. I mean, you're not wrong. 32 pounds. It's a lot, but it's not a lot. It's definitely, you're not going to walk in with some C stands. You're definitely going to be on combos, just because, well, A, it's the right thing to do, because they're light stands, which is a new segment I'll be doing on some of my videos with the puppet stuff. It's, bro, you're doing it wrong. Yeah, it'd be fun. LOL, Aputure 600X CLI or CRI and TLCI is 96. I'll take 3 of them over one orbiter. I mean, again, it's so subjective at that point. Yes, it's an actual measurement, but to most people's eyes, it's subjective. It's tough for me being a little colorblind. I don't always see things as clearly as others do, but I mean, I can still make it look pretty, I think. I don't know, maybe not. I mean, they have a variety of lights, and I mean, they are just getting started. And I mean, if you look at everything that they've done, and I enjoy talking about all kinds of companies and all the companies that I follow and kind of have grown up with. If you look at everything that they've learned from the beginning to today, where they started with their original like 1x, and then they went to their 120D, and then they did their 300D, then they did their 300D Mark II, now the 600D, they've got the 120D Mark II. Each time they did something, they changed. And originally, when they were coming out, like their color temperatures were all over the place. I remember, sorry, I had a hiccup there. I remember when they came out with the what was like the little MS-20 it was the little tiny job that was designed to just kind of just throw a little light on there, and the Kelvin on it was 7,000, and then their 120D, the original one, was like 6,200 or 6,500 or something like that. So they were all over the place as to what their color temperature was, but now they're coming back, and they're fine tuning, and they're releasing products that all relatively match now. Their build quality relatively matches. They have their P professional line, and then they have their Amaran line, which is their semi-professional line. And I mean, like the Amaran 100D and the 200D, they're good lights. I wouldn't go on the road with them. I wouldn't gig with them, but I mean, for studio, oh man, I would absolutely, yeah. I like being able to leave lights up. That helps me around here. I don't have enough lights to be able to do that, so I have to constantly take up and down. And I mean, this studio gets rebuilt. I try to leave this alone, but I mean, there are times I go to set and I unscrew every light bulb out of there and put them on, because they're all Aputure B7Cs back here. Put them in my case and go off to set. I take down every single light that's here, and yeah, it's a struggle. But you know, we're all struggling the same way. Everybody has to take their lights up and down, kind of thing. I just do it twice, and I have to put it all back together again when I get back home. I mean, the things we do for love. So aside from weight and size, we'll just put that. What do you think are the negatives to the P600C? And this conversation doesn't have to be about Aputure. We can talk about whatever you want. Feel free to ask questions in my chat. I am a wide open book, and I'm happy to explain anything that I know and point you in the direction of anything that I don't know, because I don't know everything, and I would love to, but I don't think that's physically possible. But you get it. I don't require super chats for questions like a lot of live streams do, but if you want to throw a super chat out there, I mean, I'm not going to say no. I'm going to say thank you. Also, channel memberships, if you want to join that way, that's always good. But what do you think? What do you think the negatives are of the Aputure? To me, yeah, I mean, weight is. I mean, I excluded that one already, but I think weight is probably the number one thing that people are going to talk about. Price, to be honest, would you rather pick up two 600Ds? So the price of the XL, are you talking about the Raptor XL, or are you talking? Yeah, what are you talking about? I mean, for most of my work, I would probably I would rather pick up a 600D and a 600X myself over one of these. But that is if those are the only two lights I can have. I don't know. I don't know. No, that you know, if I could only have two lights. If I could only have two, what was that, a Steve Martin? If I could have one wish, it was, yeah. You know, if I could only have two lights, it would probably be a 600X and a Nova 600. I think that's what I would choose. I know that I'd be lugging those around, but the powerful combination with two lights with that, yeah. But if I only had the money, then yeah, I'd probably get a 600X and a 600D if I only had enough money for that, because it's a chunk of change, but it's not for everyone. Take out size and weight, and I'll get two of them. Yeah, it's a great light. Pricing is fair. Yeah, I mean the price is fair for what you get. I agree. I think it was $32.99 for without the case and $35.99 with the case. I don't know. I'm somebody can correct me if I'm wrong. I think that's what it was. I mean, it's almost double it's a little less than double of the Aputure P600c. For those thinking of buying one, just get the one with the case. It will save you it really will. I was unsure if the case was going to be worth it because it is a big honker. But I would not have it any other way. That is absolutely true. But I don't know how big that case is going to be. Yeah, that's going to be a big case. You know, it might just be the size of that storm case that I have for my Kessler stuff. I do not speak from personal experience, but from seeing people make cases out of laundry baskets and pillows. I mean, I've seen it everywhere. The original shipping box, people buying a Pelican case later and then trying to cut foam. I mean, I did the same thing. When I bought my original Movi Pro, I was like, I'm not going to spend that much money, $800 for a case. I'm going to make my own. And I glued pieces of foam together for hours to build a case. I saved like $300 and it was all sticky. What's your favorite bounce for the Aputure 300Ds? I mean, any kind of a bounce? Are you talking about technique or just a bounce? I mean, my favorite would be any kind of 8x or 6x, like a half grid or a full grid somewhere around, or even a quarter grid. I prefer grids because you lose a little less light on them. But yeah, I mean, this right here is a 6x right here. And it's, what is this one? This is not a grid. Yeah, I mean, I think it's literally, it's a cheap one too. It's a silk in this case. Who just dinged me? Sorry. So I mean, that kind of bounce would be my preferred. Or you could take it. Or you could take it and bounce it off of a bead board or anything like that. I also, I mean, this is a 300D right here. And it is, it's not up very bright. It's actually, this light is about 13 feet away. And let's see what it's setting at. It's a 300D Mark II, and it has the Fresnel attachment on it. And come on, bring it up. Bring it up. There we go. Okay, 3 NRD right there. And we're at 29%. So it gives you an idea how bright some of these lights really are. They can really pour out, and it's going through. I think that's just a full silk. Another thing that I do when I want really, really soft is I'll blast the 300D Mark II through a soft box and into a silk just to give it extra softness. I have 2 Novas and cases with both of them. Yep. Pre-orders have sold out. That didn't take long. Let's see here. Justin says, I have several modern studio on-the-go setups, 2 4x4s, 1 6x6. They also include various silks in the kits, so you can swap them out for what you want. Yeah, I found 8x8s are, unless you're in a big place, 8x8s are a little cumbersome. A lot of people disagree. Make them fit, make them fit. I like 6x6 myself. 4x4 is it's a little small. I only do it if I'm just really tight inside. Like I'm in someone's office who has no room to work. Then yeah, that's when I'll go with a 4x4. But even sometimes then I'll just come in with a big soft box and just put it right up against there. I also have every modifier Aputure makes. I mean, yeah, they have some good they have some good modifiers. I'm missing a few. There are a couple that I do need. I don't have any space lights because I don't have the vertical room for them, but I do have the lanterns. I do like the lanterns. Those are pretty cool, and they do provide a very nice soft light. Ollie says, Scott, are you upgrading to iPhone 13? You know, I'm not. I would, if I was still on the 11, I would probably. I don't know. Better. When I upgraded to the 12 Pro Max from the 11 Pro Max, afterwards I was like, I don't think it was really worth the upgrade. I don't think the things that I gained with this were truly that necessary to me. And looking at the 13, I don't think I'm not a super nerd when it comes to I need my ProMotion display. I need 120 hertz. I'm not that guy. So the little things like that don't entice me. I like the ProRes. I think that'll be cool, but I mean, you're just going to eat up all your space on there. Yeah, I don't know that I would even upgrade. I don't know if I would upgrade from the 11 to the 13 myself. I feel like these changes right now are pretty minuscule and not enough. Tom says, hey man, hello Tom, how are you? Justin says, the Light Dome 150 is exciting for me. Yeah, well, and that is the 150 the big one. They have like a 5 foot and a 7 foot. Those are all massive. The 7 foot, oh yeah, that'd be a hell of a lot of coolness. On the new Apple 13 Pro, ProRes only works with 256 memory and above, not available with lower amounts. But isn't that true though? The ProRes only works on the Maxes, the Pro models, right? And I think the Pro models start at 256, or is it 128? But that's interesting. Touch ID would have sealed the deal, or Touch ID would have sealed the deal for me, given the face mask life we live. Yeah, no kidding. I mean, it's interesting. The 12 Pro Max here, I cannot wear my sunglasses and it recognize my face. The 11 would. And yeah, I've retrained it like 60 times. It will not accept sunglasses on my face. But the 11 will. And I find that exceptionally annoying, especially when I'm outside. I mean, you have this great high brightness HDR display on your phone, and you go outside because you're clearly wearing sunglasses, and you have to raise. That's horrible. Yeah, it's the 5-foot one. Yeah, there's a 7-foot I saw on their live stream. They have a 7-footer coming. That's really kind of cool. They start at 128. Okay, copy. Yeah, I just don't know. I mean, with the price that these phones are getting to, and they're getting really expensive, I don't know that I'm going to be jumping quite that often. The iPad M1 here, iPad Pro M1, I'm a little upset that I bought it. I wish I hadn't. It's an expensive purchase, and I bought the one with 1 terabyte because I wanted the 16 gig because, well, I was super hopeful that sometime in the future, which it appears they're going to have better memory utilization. Well, they're going to have better memory utilization, but they will allow you to run bigger apps. And I still hold out hope that they're going to really open these things up so they can crank out and go. But I'm stuck with it because, I mean, that's what, $2,000 for the 1 terabyte version of those. Yeah, that is a lot of money that, quite honestly, I'd rather spend on other things. Dom says, I agree with Scott. The juice isn't worth the squeeze. Yeah, it's such a small increase. It seemed like it was cool, but I don't see the increase. Now, I'm interested in the new watch. Mostly this one is not the previous generation, but the one before. And my wife's died, so I'm going to get a new one. She get this one because she got little hands, and it looked funny on she get a new one. Although I did offer her the new one. She's like, nah. But can we really call them a phone anymore? I guess we can. You ever been so old that you pull up your phone and you start dialing and you're like, normally I hear the touch tone sounds when I push the buttons, and you realize you're in calculator? I'm not saying that happened this morning. I'm not saying that at all. But yeah. Wow. But can we really call them a watch anymore? Well, I look at it for the time. Literally, it's what I look at it most for. Probably 90+% of the time, I'm looking at the time on it. And I do like the date. I have no idea what date it is otherwise. I apologize. I have no idea why it held your comment there, Bill. That was weird. Andrew says, preferred lighting setup for your typical corporate office location shoot with the usual gross flow tubes overhead light. Gross. So what do I use in there? Normally what I will do, if I have 3 lights, which I usually do, I will usually try to throw one up into the ceiling, kill the overhead lights, so I can put my own color in the ceiling. Then I throw one through a 6x or any kind of big silk, and then I'll just have one opposite angle from behind, shooting just to give them a separation in the back. Usually that's enough. If I want to go from there, I might take like a 300D or 300X, put an ellipsoidal attachment on it, or you could do the 60X or the 60D and put the ellipsoidal on there and just kind of control and create kind of like a beam pattern on the back wall, just to give it a little bit of texture in the background. But I mean, when you're dealing with offices, I mean, you're trying to motivate. So if you have a window in your office, which if it's a good office, it's going to have a window, then you want to use that window, but clouds can go overhead. So motivate with the window, but put the silk right in front of it, blast your light through it so that people see that there's a window there. They understand where the light's coming from, and then you can put a rim across the back and then control the lighting in the room. I like a dim office myself. I just think your eyes go to the brightest thing on the image. So if your white walls and your white, you got a white light in there and your white walls are now reflecting the white light, then the first thing we're going to see is not the person. We're going to go straight to the white walls. So you want to break that up. So if it's a white wall, I'm not going to throw a light up into the create some ambiance. I'm going to use that light to create some type of texture along the back wall. They are communications devices, says Bill. I don't know. Oh, because you misspelled. It blocked your message there, Bill. I couldn't figure out what it was because you misspelled it. Justin says, I have the Apple Watch 4 and still cannot find enough reasons to upgrade to the 7. By the way, the 7 has the exact same processor as the 6. Wait if you can for the next version. It's true. I mean, I want my wife to have one. So if we're going to buy one, I mean, the 7 has plenty of bells and whistles, and it can do your oxygen, which this one can't do. This was the one before the before one. So, I mean, I can see it. I don't know. She'll probably try to talk me out of it and just say, I'm fine with my Fitbit. Justin says, Andrew, I bought 2 Aputure 300X and 1 600X just for that reason, but I also agree with Scott about killing the light. Yeah, I mean, don't play gross. If they tell you you can't kill the lights, then climb the desk and turn the bulbs. Don't be a jerk, but don't take no for an answer. Just because people think the answer is no doesn't mean the answer is no. I have absolutely climbed on desks, rotate those bulbs, kill them off, even if it's just in that little area and I can't mess with anybody else. It's enough to help. And then what I'll do is I'll blast light against the subject. It's a little sucky for the subject, but by blasting light, then I can bring my exposure way down. Why am I showing you blank? I put some ND on my camera, and what that does is that separates the background. So the background is now way down in exposure for compared to the interviewee, yes. I rang CVP London today, and they said Raptor is expected to ship. You're talking about XL? It should be. It should be ready to. It should be. Yeah, I think it's going to get announced before the end of the year and shipping it at the first of the year-ish. I believe the Raptors, the V-Raptors, are going out today or tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think. When did the mouth noise thing become a thing? It boggles my mind. I spent all my life listening to fantastic sound design on every show. Like, for instance, X-Files, when the smoking man takes a drag from his cigarette, you can hear the paper sizzle and crinkle, and you hear all these mouth noises, and you hear all the breaths and all of that. And to me, that's amazing sound design. When did people stop liking that? I don't understand. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm not judging. I don't understand it, and it's probably because I don't have that issue. But that one is interesting to me. V-Raptor. V-Raptor is expected to ship early 2022. No, it's shipping. I mean, it's going to go in larger quantity in 2022 for sure. Let's see here. Let's see. Tall guy Trav says, "I love the X-Files. Best show." You know, you're not wrong. It's a pretty fantastic show. I like to rewatch it, but I will watch it with there's that wiki out there that allows you to watch different like, I don't care about the monster of the week. They're always fun, but I mean, after I've seen it like twice, I don't want to see it again. I don't care. So I follow the storylines, like the Black Oil, the Smoky Man, all that stuff. So I like to watch it in those orders where you pick up this episode, then this episode. I like those storylines. I kind of liked the new X-Files, and I was sad to see it go, but I didn't like what they did with it, though. Adorama has the Nova P600c listed, but are showing pictures of the P600X Pro. Also pricing $32.90 without case and $35.90 with case. Perfect. Okay. Andrew says, yeah, I always kill the existing lights. They always tend to have a funky color. Yeah, especially the older they are. Oh, gosh, that's green. Definitely interested in getting a 660X or 2 to complement my existing Aputure kit. I mean, that's what that is. That is, it's a 60X up here with a softbox and a grid right there. And let me tell you what it's set at. It is, it's about, the end of the softbox is about 5 feet from me. The unit is probably 7 feet away. And we have, where's that? I'll find it on my list here. There we go. Yeah, so it's 18%. That's 18% right there. So even the 60X through a big softbox, and that's an 18 by 24 with a grid and one layer of diffusion inside at 18%. And this is the light that it gives. Well, we can do this. Let's just do this. It would be nicer of me if I did this. We'll pull all these up, and then I'll just play with the lights for everybody. Might you know the ballpark price of the Raptor X? I don't. I can guess, but I don't. It's. I mean, think about all the options. You're going to put every option that Red makes on it and put it into an enclosure. So, I mean, it's not, I don't think it's going to, you never know. It could be twice the price, but I don't think it's going to be twice. I think it's probably going to be like, I don't know. If I had to ballpark it, I'd say between 39 and 49, maybe. That's my guess. I don't know. That is literally zero knowledge of pricing on that. Let's see here. What's up, buddy? What's up, Sean? I didn't know they had that. I'll have to check it out. Yep. Gerald, how are you? I am well. Let's see here. So we're going to do... I'm going to put this here. So we have the 300X in the background. That's going through the window. You can see me turning that off and on right there. That is through a projector with a mini blind gobo on it. And we're at 32%. And we're, I think, 2600 Kelvin? 2650. So, yeah. Oopsie. So this is the 60D here. You can see it on and off. This is the 300D at 29%. So you could pull a key with a 60X. Now, this is not going to wrap around because I have a grid on it. So, yeah, I mean, I'm at F5 over here. So there's quite a bit of latitude. Now, in fairness, that's an A7S III, and I'm shooting at ISO 2000. I'm using the S setting tone. So it's, you got to take a couple stops off for the 2000 ISO, but I mean 600D I think does quite well. Drop that back down, bring up my 300D. That's at 29, so I mean we can blast that puppy. That's an insane amount. It does quite a bit. And then all the lights back there in the back, those are all done with the B7Cs. That's the side, whoops. That's that lamp. And then we have the desk lamp right there. And then I have another plant. Where's my other plant? Nope, not that one. Where's my other plant? I have a lot of lights on here. Oh, that's the rear light. So that gives me a nice, and this is a B7C and a reflector for a reason. Where am I not seeing this other one? That's interesting. There it is. There it is, right there. So that gives you an idea there. Gerald, yep, good to see you. 60X and the other one have been on back order since the day. Yeah, so it is really, really tough. Don't blame Aputure. They are not the only ones having this problem. I mean, Red announced that they might have to increase the price of Komodo because they're having to fly around parts to all the different assembly plants because they've diversified their assembly process because of supply chain issues. And even now, they can't get parts over there in time, so they're literally flying them around in airplanes, and it's causing the prices to go through the roof. So, I mean, Aputure's struggling the same way. They have a lot of lights sitting in containers out on the ocean, just floating, waiting. It sucks. It's not fair. I wish somebody would do something about it. I don't know what they can do, but I mean, this is the world we're living in right now. Green screen question. What false color do you set your screen to when lighting it? That is a good question. So I am not God's gift to green screen, but I tend to keep it a little bit less than my subject, but not a whole lot less. So IRE should be, I mean, for my skin, my IRE, I keep it around 45 to 50 for my skin, and I keep the green screen around 40. I've seen people do the opposite, where they blast it out. To me, with today's technology, it's about evenness more than anything. Because with an even lighting on there, you'll be able to pull a good key. And if you overbright it, you're gonna have a lot of spill. So I mean, I try to keep it like 10 under. But I'm not God's gift to green screen. I do it. I've shot it many times. I play with it around here for fun, but I find myself not using it a lot because it just wasn't worth the time and effort for a lot of stuff that I do. I mean, I have a cyc here. It's all green. Can I show it without ruining? I can't show it. Sorry, there's stuff on that table. But I mean, the cyc starts right there on the floor, and it goes up over there. I'm about to paint it white. Justice says, I think I read you set your screen at 40 and your talent to 60. Yeah, you can do 60. Depends on how their skin tone. So the more pale they are, the higher your skin tone can be. Obviously, an African American with very dark pigmentation, you're not going to set them to 50. You're going to set them probably in the 39 to 42 range. So you just need a little bit of contrast pop between the two. Justin says, also, I just got the IRIX 30 lens and testing it out. Have you ordered one? I have not yet. I'm actually interested in trying that one out. I haven't got a hold of it yet. Ali says, at what version of GoPro did you stop getting excited about the release? For me, it was 6. My last one that I bought was a 7. And I bought it to compare it to the DJI, which I like the DJI a lot. However, I think I will probably buy the 10. The 10 from the 7 is enough of an improvement in a lot of different ways that I'll use it more. And so I'll probably buy one. Bill's Leftovers GoPro answer, version 4. It has a really good mic. It's small, and I like the silver more than the black. The GoPro 4 was pretty cool. That was the one, I had those things. I had the backpack, not the GoPro version, but the 8-hour backpacks that you clip onto the back. They had HDMI out. They put a really good image out. Those are really nice. But I do like all their stabilization. I think they're really doing a good job. Plus, 5.3K, I gotta dig that. I gotta dig that. Ali says, I'll tell you what was a game changer regarding green screen, lighting it with tungsten. You know, Ali, I did that a couple times. I never got a benefit from that. I tried it. I watched a bunch of videos on that, and I was like, that sounds like it makes sense. But I never was able to pull a good key from it. Not any better, anyway. I'll tell you what you can pull a good key from. If you put the Nova behind the subject, behind your, if you have a person standing there and you can get it low and blasting up, and you set it to green and blast your green screen with green, that's when you get a good key. That's something I learned from Hurlbut, because he used those KinoFlow green tubes. And I was like, no, that makes sense. It just ultra saturates. Anything you can do to get an ultra saturated green with no spill, that's where you're gonna love it. Justin said, thanks, Ollie. I mean, try it. Try Ollie's. I did not have luck with it. I tried like 3 different ways. I even reversed it too. I lighted my talent with tungsten and then it with daylight, and I couldn't pull it. It was weird. Let's see. Ollie says, Bill's Leftovers agreed. Still rocking the 4 black. Yeah, the 4 black was, I should have not sold those. I was kind of trimming down all my kit, and I sold all my GoPros. I had the original Hero, the Hero HD, the 3, the 4, the silver, the 5. I had the selfie, the stabilizer stick that they had. Thanks for the green screen talk. Thanks, Scott, and everyone for the discussion. Got to go. Everyone have a great day. Thanks for dropping by, Justin. Always, anytime, feel free. I mean, it's what we're here to talk about. I'll tell you what worked for me and what didn't, but I don't have answers for everything. Ollie says, the warmth from the tungsten made keying the green way easier. I did test, depending on what type of material you use. It's true. Mine I was testing on paint, and it could have just been a bad color paint. I'm really cheap, so I didn't buy the chroma green. I went out and matched it as best I could. So, I mean, there's something to that. I did like, no one really uses it though. NAB had it like 2-3 years ago, where it was a highly reflective screen for green screen, but it was neutral color. And you put an LED light ring on your camera, and it had a special filter on it to keep the green from showing up on talent. I think it was like an infrared green or whatever it was. It reflected off the background, and it made this perfect key every time. But obviously there was a problem with that because no one's using it. That ring light thing, that's. I have video of it. Well, I did. On one of my NAB. Is it NAB or Cinegear? It was NAB. Yeah. One of my NAB would probably be NAB 2019. I'm guessing. Videos. I showed that in that clip, and it was really interesting. But the fact that no one uses it would tell you there's a problem with it. I don't know what the problem is. I'm not smart enough to know it, or I just haven't got to play with it. Either way, the stream's looking pretty good. I changed a couple of things. Is everybody streaming in high quality, or is it a lower quality? That's one thing I'm worried about, is the quality going down with these settings. Andrew says, definitely need more practice with diversifying my lighting techniques. One of my weakest areas for sure. Defaulting to ceiling, bounce, ambience fill, and softbox key lock for most situations. Yeah, I mean, keep in mind, you asked about lights. But I would have probably a 4x4 floppy black flag on the opposite side of the person to give a little negative fill against their face. Lighting is not always about adding light. Sometimes it's cinematography is really about controlling light, is really what it comes down to. That could be adding, it could be subtracting. Don't get caught in I need to add another light and add another light. Sometimes you just do one light. And I'm actually going to do a series on lighting with one light, lighting with two lights, and lighting with three lights. It's on my list of things to do. It just takes the right motivation to do them. But you can actually do quite well with one light if you only have one light. It needs to be a bigger light, but you can do that with a bounce. You can get some separation. You can do negative fill. You get a second light with a little. There's a lot of things you can do. Andrew says, gaffers, lighting techs are worth their weight in gold. You are not wrong. A good gaffer is absolutely worth it every time. Tyler, what's up, buddy? How's your world? How are you doing? Everything good? Bill says, did you ever get to film a documentary on someone like you mentioned a few weeks ago? I haven't gotten to them yet. I had to delay them because I got an assignment up in Dallas. So I was going back and forth with that. But I reached out to them, and that's back on now, the documentary. So I'm going to, that's going to happen here soon, very soon. Light fall off is something I feel overlooked these days. Yep. So many people just buy a light dome, put it 3 feet away and shoot. Yeah, that's the YouTube way. And I mean, I'll be honest, I've had to do that myself. There are always times when it's the only tool that you can fit into an area. But you're right, light fall off. I mean, this 6x creates a big light source. So you have light. That was weird. It was like my dog was barking outside, but he's right there. You have light over here from the 6x that's able to hit this side of my face. You've got light over here that's able to hit the side of my face. So you can do a lot. Let me see if I can screw with this and just mess everything up. Ooh. Oh boy. So, I mean, that's how harsh. Now, there is a net over here. And you can see it, well, you can see it right here on my body. That net is to kill off the brightness here, so this is not a hot spot. But, I mean, that is a hard light right there, and, well, that's some Rembrandt lighting right there. That's not very pleasing. It's very harsh. But you put that 6x up, and now we have this really, really, really soft light. It's a little too even, actually. I wonder if I set this too bright. It's a little evener than I like. Let's see here. Let's go to there. I mean, that's a little more moody with a slight amount of Rembrandt right there. Yeah, I mean, that's not bad. So yeah, I mean, the cool thing with light, light works exactly the same no matter how big it is. So you don't need a giant light to play with lights. You can play with little LEDs, a single LED, and it will act the same as a hard light. It's just not as bright. So you can always play with lights. I mean, you can have a lot of fun, and this is something that I've been wanting to do, is to get a large dollhouse type room or build a fake set that's, well, almost like stop motion animation. That's probably a reason for me to do it. And then throw little tiny lights on it and light the scenes and create, because it completely translate, 100% translate. So you throw a silk on here and you get that soft look. You throw a silk on a big light, it's going to do the exact same thing. Same ratios all work out. Bill says, how am I looking to light the dock? I don't know, because it's I've only seen videos of the location, so I'm gonna have to go there. I'm gonna go in 3 trips, because I need to understand the story quite a bit, and then the second time I'll go in there. Well, yeah, I mean, I have to go in multiple trips anyway, because it's a process documentary. There's something happening on each of the trips. But I got to get B-roll while I'm there. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting. But I'll be lighting it in their office space for the dock, and I'll just have the busy stuff in the background all kind of falling off. But it's not a very big place. Tyler says, all good here, man. Hope you are as well. I am doing fantastic. I am doing well. I saw pictures of you and the kiddo. It's always a good smile on the Facebooks. Devil, hey, how's it going? I'm doing well. Ollie says, nice dollhouse idea. A hand torch is an M18. Yeah, you know, it's an M18. It works. It really does. And there's a lot of fun to be had that way. I just think it'd be funny if someone would invent, and I don't know why they wouldn't, because this would be like the perfect. My first cinematography kit. Wouldn't it be hilarious to build? It just comes in a set, and you get like the set of Friends or something like that, and then they give you little softbox lights, little soft lights, little hard lights, little pinpoints, and everything is accurate. And so you just build it. I mean, yeah, it's going to cost you a couple $100, but quite honestly, wouldn't that be something you'd probably want to spend a couple $100 on? I think so. I think if it was $200 and you got like 10 lights with it and some silks and, I mean, I would probably have a little fun with that. I'm not sure how you would, I guess you'd have to use a probe lens to get the view. It would need a little camera. That would be cool. I don't know. Anybody want to go in halvesies on that? I just gave a free idea out to the world. It's all right. I'm not trying to get rich because I suck at it. Here, let me mute. Oh, it's good times, good times. So what other projects everybody got going on? You are you keeping busy out there, Bill and Tyler and Ollie and Andrew had to leave, right? No, no, Andrew's here. Okay, yeah, Andrew, y'all keeping busy? Y'all getting jobs? Let me know what's going on. A real life cinema designer, basically. Yeah, I mean, I think cinema designer is cool. I like Matt. Matt's a really cool dude. But I get less from not physically doing it, and it feels and sounds wrong to say, but you're physically doing it on a miniature set. You are not physically doing it in virtual. So although it works and all the math is in there, I'm not able to look around the same way. Now, if it was full on goggles and you're looking around the scene and then you place a light and you can adjust the light, then I would be more into it. I just think a hands-on approach. It's definitely the way I learn, but other people are completely different. I mean, some people can walk into a room and instantly know how to light it. I have to walk around the room, study it for a few minutes, kind of do some bounce maths in my head, look at the few options, and then I go for it. I mean, everybody's different. That's what makes this great. Physically doing it, what kind of dollhouse is it? Well, I mean, you're physically moving the lights. You're physically able to add an accessory to it. You're physically able to see the light because the patterns would be exactly the same. You could put a doll. I mean, it'd be hilarious to have a Jerry Seinfeld kit. So you just get his apartment. You get Jerry Seinfeld and George and Elaine. And then for the fun of it, they throw in... what's her name? The one character who always looks good in good light, but in bad light she looks evil. So you throw her in there, so you try to recreate all this. I mean, that's some fun stuff. I mean, a sitcom is a horrible way to learn lighting because it's let's light everything. It's high key lighting. But you know, there's ways of learning. You could also probably just spend $200 on some old tungsten lights and just light around the house too. But I know that like silks and flags, that stuff gets expensive fast. I know every time I buy one, I'm like, I don't want to buy that. I don't want to. Yeah, the 8x rags are very expensive. And then nets and then frames and I seriously know it's a good idea. Especially like you said, the lights represent the same relevant. I mean, they do. I would imagine that there are kids today that would look at it and go, I can just do it in Cinema Designer. Okay, I mean, that's how you learn. Cool. Do it. Be done with it. I mean, who am I to tell people how to do things? I can tell you how I would do things. Let's see here. V-Raptor, I'm probably looking at about a year out for V-Raptor for me. It is on my list, but budget, just making all that math work for me, I'll probably be shooting on Dragon X for a little while longer. And I'm okay with that. I like the Dragon X a lot. So don't look for the Dragon X to appear real soon. If it does, then I just happen to get a fantastically huge job that I've been praying for, and all the lights are shining down upon me in this giant dollhouse we call Earth. How's that for prophetic? Prosthetic. I don't, prosthetic. How's that for prosthetic? Prophetic? I don't know. Prophetic, I think is right. I'm still shooting Epic Dragon, the love of my life. I mean, it makes a good image, and I got stuff in the works with it that I'll get to show soon, and yeah, it's good. It's good. There, I tried not to make any noise when I drink. Hitting the mute is a pain in the rear. So what else is going on? Anybody got any projects they're working on? Bill, you still working on your project? How's that coming? I have been having a lot of fun playing with old computers. I don't know why. Maybe it's just because I'm old. I've got my old Mac G4 back there, and I fired it up and fired up some of my old music software and found all of my old sequences and recordings and just having a blast. I had bought an old multi-track recorder and on reverb, but it came in defective. The guy said it worked when he sent it out, so now we're just trying to figure out what to do here because it doesn't work, and I can't use it not working. I tried to fix it. There were a lot of repair guides online, but this one was a little more damaged than most of those, and the part is really hard to come by. Yeah, you know, it's fun to play with old stuff. This is one of those purchases I was laughing about earlier that I got from Goodwill. Let's see if anybody knows what this is. I'm gonna leave it here and wait for someone to respond. Well, I hope this price tag comes off. That'll really ruin a set piece. I know rubbing alcohol will take it off. Man, a price gun. Who uses those anymore? Everything is a Seinfeld episode. Yeah. Let's see here. Yeah, we'll just hold it up like this. Just like that. Anybody know what this is? All the youngins today are like, what is that? And then when I explain what it is, they'll be like, what does it do? Let's see here. Yeah, work-wise, I don't really have anything on the horizon right now other than I'm going to be shooting that doc, a mini doc here soon. And I have a couple of small shoots for a client. But other than that, I don't really have anything on the horizon, and it's a little depressing. I mean, it's not a good place to be. Kevin says, see you later. Got to hit the road before it hits back. Yep. See you, Kevin. Good to see you. Andrew says, I'm the only videographer for a small social media marketing firm local to me. Really like the variety of our current clientele. Keeps me on my toes. I mean, that's cool. People have told me that I should go join a creative agency or an agency guy. I don't really want to be the 9-to-5 guy again. I did that. And I've had many opportunities to be a 9-to-5 guy again, and I don't want to have anything to do with it. All right, nobody guessing. Come on. I'll give them more clue. Ooh, it's a microprocessor control, no less. Oh, come on. It's an answering machine. That's what this is. It's an old, this is like a 80s, or maybe not, wow, it comes with a screwdriver. 80s or That's not even the early 90s, because in the 90s they had, there we go. Okay, reconnect. Wow. That was weird. Completely disconnected. Let's see here. Press play and record at the same time. This one, I don't think. This one has a button. Nope. You actually have to push record and start stop at the same time. But there's an erase button in there too. That stuff's going to get me in trouble. 90s used smaller cassettes. That's true. That's true. This is 80s. And then one other purchase I got here. This one makes me smile. I like this one. I've been looking for, well, I probably bought a couple more of these than I should have. But I like it, and that's all that matters. I mean, when you want something, you want something. We have a Royal Epic typewriter. It's a completely... I've got some projects for this. It's actually a really bad typewriter. I mean, it's really bad. But I've got a really good one coming from Goodwill. Well, this one was hilarious, by the way. So this one, I found this on eBay for $5. And it had $25 shipping. And I thought, well, that's a pretty cheap deal. I mean, they sell those new on Amazon for $150 something. So I thought that $30 bucks. That's got to be good. So I bought it. And when it arrived, the shipping cost was stamped on it. And the shipping cost was $32.68. So I paid $30. They paid like $3.50 in fees to eBay and then paid $32. So it cost them $7 to get rid of the typewriter. Thought that was interesting. And we're still live, right? The internet's being weird right now. Oh, we're dropping again. Wow, it's really low. I may have to... There we go. It's back. Wow, it dropped off all these viewers? Did it? Wow. I guess it's still going. Yeah. Let's see. Live. Let's see if I wave my hands, if it works. I'm assuming it is. Whisper Cool Corp. Hey, how's it going? Yeah, okay, it's working. It's dropping frames like crazy right now. Oh, the internet. You're so hilarious around here. Come on, SpaceX. Come on, SpaceX. Launch those satellites. The new one, though, I just heard that they're redoing the hardware on the for the satellite internet. They're redoing the hardware for the individual users, and they're going to cost more. We can see you. Cool. Ticknor, might you know when Komodo autofocus will be out of beta? I would imagine that's going to be a while. I think they're basically constantly evolving that. And because they're constantly learning, and this is their first autofocus, I would imagine it's probably not going to ever be out of beta for Komodo. But it will always be improving and get better and better. Because, I mean, there's stuff they're just going to have to learn. But it works. It works fairly well. It's I'd say about 85% effective autofocus. It's better than a GH5 was. It does a pretty good job. If there's a lot of light, it definitely nails it. Let's see. How long have I been live streaming? Hour and a half? No. Wait, what? How long have I actually been live streaming? No, hour and a half. Yeah. That's weird. It says 2.5 hours I've been live streaming. That's really strange. So who's got questions? Who's got stuff they'd like to know, or who's got knows they like to share, or who wants to engage in conversation so I'm not sitting here talking with myself? We can talk about aperture lights. We can talk about airy lights. We can talk about lights. We can talk about cameras. We can talk about red. We can talk about Blackmagic. We can talk about Ari. Ari's going to be announcing a new camera soon. Ooh, it's going to be nice. Sony's going to be announcing a new camera soon. Ooh, it's going to be nice. Blackmagic's going to be introducing a new camera soon. Ooh, it's going to be nice. Yeah, there's quite a lot coming. It'll be interesting to see how and when they do it now that NAB shut down. Regarding Canon EOS R5 and the heating problem, do you think the tilt-a cooling fan is a good solution? Any idea? Thank you, sir. I don't think that's a good solution. I think, here's my take on it. I think you need to buy a product for its intended use. The R5 shoots 8K, but it is not an 8K camera. It's just not designed to run 8K continuously. You would need to go to, quite frankly, a RED to run 8K continuously. The Sony A1 is a great camera, but it is going to overheat at some point shooting 8K. So putting fans on it, you're just pushing the limits of what a camera is supposed to do. It's not supposed to run 24/7 8K. It's like Blackmagic advertising their camera as the Ursa 12K. Oh, it's a 12K camera. People are shooting in 12K. 12K looks like hot garbage on that sensor. Don't shoot that camera in 12K. Don't even shoot it in 8K. Shoot it in 4K. It looks amazing in 4K. But don't do 12K. Don't call it a 12K camera, because just because it can doesn't mean it should. And you're going to see a lot of other cameras soon with some very high resolutions. Some of them can do it continuously. Others won't. There's going to be many announced here shortly that will do it and do it quite well continuously, and others can't. So I would not put a fan on my R5 if I were you. I would learn the limits of it and live with the limits, or I would find another solution if you're finding yourself bumping up against their limitations. Ollie says Blackmagic has to go full frame. I mean, it's now or never. Well, I agree with you. The world is going to go full frame. Might as well jump on that one, because what else you gonna do? I do know some interesting stuff coming, and it is going to be interesting for people who used to complain about RED being all high resolution stuff and saying it's not needed. It's not needed. It'll be interesting to see those same people, and they will be saying it in the next few weeks, saying it's needed. We need the high resolution. Be interested to see it. I know it's going to happen, because what else are they going to say? No, this is good enough for me. Kind of like the holdouts of the RS Sky panels. Let's see here. Who else got questions? I'm happy to answer what I know or give you my opinion, because a lot of times it's just one or the other, or I don't know the answer. But happy to answer. I mean, I'm an open book. You don't even have to throw money my way to get me to answer your questions. I'm just a nice guy sitting out here for the next... Where's my timer? My timer not working? Yeah, there it is. Okay. I had to find it again. For the next 20 minutes. Ollie says, I'm really considering Komodo, especially if the price goes up. Will hold its value better. I just can't now with all the impending announcements. Yeah, I mean, Komodo in a lot of ways is better than Dragon. Komodo in a lot of ways is not better than Dragon. It's a different tool. If your shooting style merits it, you can probably get away with Komodo. It does a lot of things better. I mean, it handles low light a lot better than Dragon does. I shoot 2000 ISO, and there's a little denoising that has to take place, but it's not uncomfortable with the Komodo. You shoot 2000 on Dragon, you'll be like, I need me some denoiser right now. I mean, I understand it. I don't know if it'll hold its value. People are so weird when it comes to resale. That like right now the DSMC2 crowd just giving away their cameras. They're like, oh my God, I gotta get a Raptor. They're just literally giving away. I mean, not literally. I guess the incorrect use of the word literal. But pricing them where they're virtually free. It boggles my mind. And I was talking to someone that read about it, and I was like, what do you think about this? And their thoughts were they think people are just kind of viewing it like the trade-in program. People would trade in knowing they were going to get like $10,000 less than if they just sold it on the open market for the pure convenience. So they're used to it, so now they just dump it on the market. But wow, that's a weird thing to see. It's just weird. Picture or Vespid on Raptor? Well, you can't do Picture unless you're going to shoot 6K, because Picture is not full frame. Picture is Super 35. Am I right? Pretty sure that's Super 35 only. Picture zoom. Super 35. The Vespids are full frame, but the Picture is not. So, yeah, you're kind of stuck there. If you bought it for full frame, then you're only going to be using the Vespids. My personal opinion, I think they're both okay. I find them kind of boring. I would love to spend a little more time with them. I've only played with them here and there. I mean, after this glowing endorsement, if they want to reach out and send me some, I'll send them back. I'm not that guy. I'd love to shoot with them in detail, but they just kind of don't excite me. Ollie says, I just don't want to pocket 6K as a B cam anymore. Want to go full red? I mean, I understand. And a Komodo matches up beautifully in the lineup. And I mean, if you kept your Epic and you went Komodo, I would bet you that 80 to 90% of the time you grab your Komodo for a only cam. The Kalari Vision cooling mod for R5 gives you twice the time before overheat. It's amazing. $500. I just got my R5 back and can shoot 8K for 4K 120 for twice the time. Perfect B cam. But again, you're up against that time. Let's say you shoot all the way up to that overheat, and okay, now you're done. Now you got to take a break. You're going to stop the set? You're going to stop production? I mean, hey, can you hold up that presentation up there? We need to give the camera time to cool off. That's never been a solution in my world. There are times, sure, when it might work, but the recharge time on that, as far as like cooling back down and getting another double the time, it's still a long time. So I mean, basically, you don't ever want to run out of film. You don't ever want to run out of media, run out of battery during a shoot. So you manage that stuff appropriately. Don't put yourself in those situations. But in case you have a director that loves long takes, well, let's just keep it rolling. Let's just keep it rolling. Burn that media up. I mean, you don't want to be in a situation where, well, you can't support the media. You can't support writing to it. Yeah. Wow, my internet is garbage. Really? That is really bad internet. Sorry about that. That's why we'll be wrapping it up here in 15 minutes. Yeah. I went with variable bit rate before because I figured the variable would be a little more entertaining to dropouts, but everything I read said, nope, use constant. I was like, right now, wow, that's horrible. Probably dropping every frame I'm sending. Yeah, what other questions anybody got? I enjoy the conversation. I do. It's a lot of fun. Let's see if there's any hot news on the Facebooks to chat about here. Everybody's teaching me how to make eggs. I on Facebook I post a lot of pictures of the food that I make, and eggs are just one of those things I've never really mastered. I don't really make them that much, so I posted some the other day and they were pretty meh, so I called them Megs. And everybody's teaching me how to make eggs now, so I'll be making some eggs soon. I've got hiccups going on. That is horrible. Whew. Any other questions? Anybody got questions? I mean, I don't have to go a full 2 hours if nobody wants to chat. If I'm just background noise, I understand that's the relationship we have. It's okay. I'm not hurt about it. I could play my intro again. You realize how much time I spent making that stupid intro? And I made it right before I shot because I wanted all the chair and the iPad and everything else to be yeah, there, Ollie, you're quoting what everybody else is quoting too. Gordon Ramsay. Wow, dude, your hat. The problem with Gordon Ramsay, and I watched it a long time ago, was he makes the eggs and he talks about what he's doing, but he doesn't ever say why or when. He's always like, kill the heat. And you don't know why I mean, how do you know when to kill the heat? Just kill the heat. Okay. I mean, Gordon Ramsay's a master. You don't call him anything less. But yeah, so yeah, puppets. Who doesn't love puppets? Let's read the chat down here. I have Velcro on his hand, so he can grab a phone. Let's see here. Missed the intro. I can play the intro again. Probably someone already asked, but what are your opinions about the V-Raptor? Oh, V-Raptor is amazing. It is absolutely a camera that I will be getting. It's going to be a little while for me though, just budget-wise. It's the first Red that checks off enough boxes for the stuff that I do and how I shoot that it's a must for me to trade. Well, not trade, but to sell my Dragon and go for that. All the other cameras, I've loved the looks. I don't like the Helium, but I've loved the Gemini. I love the Monstro, but there wasn't enough check boxes to make me want to get rid of my Dragon and spend a whole lot more money for, now we're dropping frames again. Oh, come on. Dropping all frames? Good grief, that was pathetic. Jeez. Dropping everything. Yeah, this internet just goes up and down too much. But what I was saying is there was not enough checkboxes. Why don't I like the helium? I never liked the look of it. To me, Dragon feels very organic. Gemini feels very organic. Monstro feels organic. Helium did not feel organic to me. Helium, to me, felt like MX. And Mysterium did not feel right to me. And organic is a term that I love to use. But what it really means to me is how does nature, how does humans look on it? And it was nice, but I didn't prefer helium. I just didn't. Scott, are Kessler announcing what they teased at Cinegear? Kessler does not go to any of the trade shows. They haven't been in many, many years. They basically, I mean, people who know, and people who don't will learn from everybody else. So you won't see them at the trade show. They're just going to announce it around that time. Should be any time. I reset the timer, R5 trick, yeah. It always boggles me why they allow overheats to exist. Like on the Sony. Sony, you have normal and you have extended heat for the A7S III. So if you're normal, you're going to overheat. If you set it to extended, you're not going to overheat. Why is it an option? If it runs with extended, why not just have it extended? Why do I need to enable or disable that? That doesn't make any sense to me. But yeah, the V-Raptor is the first one that checks all the boxes for me to want to upgrade. What else was there? There was something. Oh, the intro. I could play the intro again. It was, yeah, let's play the intro real fast. This is how I started the show. Scott? 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 Crap, we're live. Scott! And then I just walked in off that was I was just having fun with that. But it was really hard because I had moved my iPad and the chair and the drink and all that. I had to. Wow, look at that! That's a dirty shirt. You're not supposed to see that. The dirty shirt right here too. Yeah, it was puppets. I like puppets. So, who's got any last questions? Got 6 minutes. 6 minutes. Time for a couple of final lightning round questions. Come on, throw them in there. Let's go. Lightning round. Type them fast, folks. Let's get them in. See if I can answer them. See if you can stump Scotty. You can. It's not hard. Let's see here. We had a good live stream today, though. I appreciate everyone joining in and being a part of it. It's always good. I can't wait for Skype, Star, whatever, SpaceX's internet, Starlink, whatever it is. Can't wait for it. I want it so bad, and you watch it'll suck for live streaming. What are you gonna do? What are you going to do? Nothing you can do except, well, crack a few eggs and make them. All these people giving me egg advice. I guess I'm egging it on. When do you think the interviews will start? When this internet, I mean, I have to not drop frames like this. I mean, it is my holdup. I did talk to a couple people recently, and I'm pausing them. I want them to start. I really, really do. But until I can figure out a solution, and I'll probably next time we live stream, which might be tomorrow, I might be doing it on StreamYard just to see. I don't know if it'll work or not. I don't know. There's something massively wrong with what they're doing on my ISP, and I don't have options. I just don't have any options other than that until the SpaceX comes out, which I think is going to be the first of the year now. Stinks, but you know, what can I do? It's my pittance for living out in the middle of nowhere, for choosing. I just don't know why they messed it up. It was so good for so long. All through 2020, we had no problems. And then, yeah. I feel like I should just rename these live streams the Old Man Rants About Internet Speed. Old Man Drops Frames. You think that'll be like the memes in like 30 years? Bunch of old grandpas. Oh, what are you're dropping frames? You're dropping frames. You're fragging out. You know it'll happen. All right, everyone. I'm going to go ahead and close this one out. As always, leave your comments down below. Give me a thumbs up, like and subscribe, give all that good stuff. Make sure you turn on the notifications. I appreciate everyone for joining us here. What about a 4G router? It's not that. It's I have no cell signal out here. My cell phone right now comes through my internet. The only way I can get one bar is to get out of my front porch and stand. That's how bad it is out here. So yeah, otherwise I would totally be doing that. Yep, support me with anything down below, any way you want. All kinds of good stuff. Amazon links. Use my affiliate links if you're buying anything from Kessler. Please use that affiliate link. I do get a small portion, and you get the same great prices. So, I mean, you're just helping. And then, yeah, as always, as I like to leave it, don't let your passions center around your life. Let your life center around your passions. I want fast internet. I really do. I really, really want it. Bye.